Scott here with Surfing Short. Today we are going to go through some low back treatment. This is going to be my go-to, especially if you have any muscle tightness, any little bit of joint tightness. I really like the peanut. Peanut is going to be the first go-to treatment for me for pretty much any low back pain. I like it a lot better than the full roller. You can kind of get center of the spine where you have those little spinous process right in the middle, and then you can get nice and easy onto the sides of the muscles or the joints, depending on where you have the peanut. Very versatile tool. Again, with everything, you have kind of right tool for the job. For low back, upper back, neck, peanut is my go-to. So, if you don't have one in your tool bag, you definitely should. It is really good. So, we're going to start off, we're going to go through a little bit of joint work just to try and get those little joints in the low back moving, especially if you have problems going backwards into extension, you feel like it is tightening up, you kind of have that little pinch in the back. I would start off on your back. We'll go through a couple different variations, whether legs are up, legs are down, and different kind of pressure levels that you can get into with the peanut. And then we'll go to the wall where we're doing a little bit of muscle work, right around those little paraspinal muscles, and then into QL, and then also into a little bit of the glutes. So starting off, we're going to go through a little bit of low back mobilization. Peanut is going to be centered right in the middle, and then again, on each side, you're kind of going into those little paraspinal muscles right through there. So we're going to go on the ground. We can start off just nice and easy, little bridge up. From there, just try and relax, nice and easy. We're just going to do little side to side with the legs, just to try and get, again, as we rotate those little joints to kind of open up. We're trying to get the ball to just kind of push and get them moving a little bit better. Then you can move up, you can move down, depending on where you feel it. If you want a little more pressure, what you can do is you can go and you can put feet up onto a box. That'll just drive a little bit more pressure down, and then same thing, little side to side. If you need even more pressure, you can bring the knees up a little bit higher. Same thing, that'll just wind up a little back a little bit more, and it'll just allow us to get a little bit more. If you find a spot, you can just kind of rock onto that side, just to try and help it to open up a little bit. When you are doing this, I highly suggest that you start off at a segment above where you are feeling your pain. If you start right at it, it's going to be a little bit harder, it's going to be a little more uncomfortable. So if you kind of work your way down or work your way up into that kind of area of tightness, area of pain, typically works pretty well, works a little bit better than just going straight to where it hurts. With this, you're doing maybe 1 to 2 minutes a segment, just nice and easy, side to side, about 5 to 10 minutes total. Big thing, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. So make sure you're not sitting there for like a half hour or an hour just going side to side, especially if the back is a little flared up. Once you get up, it's probably going to come right back and you're going to feel it even more. So don't do that. Next one that we're going to go through is just going through the muscles. This is a nice, easy one that you can do kind of throughout the day. Same position of the peanut, and you're just going to do little squats. If you want less pressure, feet go a little closer to the wall. If you want a little bit more pressure, feet are going to go a little further away. And you're just going to kind of drive into it a little bit more. If you want a little more pressure on the right, a little more pressure on the left, you can add that little rock side to side to get just a little bit more. I like the peanut better than just a single lacrosse ball for this. Just kind of disperses things a little bit more evenly, and it's a little bit less focal pressure. So you can get both sides at once, plus it's a little bit easier on those little back muscles. So from those little paraspinals, what we're going to do is we're just going to come off onto the side. And this side is going to be on those paraspinals, and the other one is going to be kind of in that little space that's right in between ribs and your hip. This is going into your little quadratus lumborum muscle. It's a big spinal stabilizer that can tighten up, especially with low back pain. So you can do a little nice and easy up and down. It shouldn't be big. You're probably moving like 2 to 3 inches with this one. You can also go a little side to side where you're just kind of shifting back and forth if you feel a spot. If you want to wind it up more, just lean away from the wall a little bit. If you want even more pressure, you can kind of lift this leg up or go further out with both of the legs to add a little bit more pressure. And same thing, just a little up and down, a little side to side. Just trying to loosen up those muscles, get a little blood flow, get everything working in the way that it should be again. From there, we also really want to make sure that we're going to loosen up our hips. Our hips are a big link onto low back. So if low back, all these muscles around here are tight, we're probably going to be overusing our little hip muscles. So we definitely also need to get into those. You can use the peanut for these. I do like going with an actual lacrosse ball, especially if you're going into kind of glute med, kind of that side butt area. Same type of thing like we did with QL. Just drive in through that outer leg. If you need more pressure, you can get a little lean away from the wall. You can also lift up that bottom leg. And anywhere kind of through that side of the hip. Just don't go over bone. If you hit bone, it's probably going to hurt a little bit and you're not really doing anything. So try and stick through those meaty parts. From here, you can also go into glute max. If you want, you can kind of wind things up by adding a little bit of rotation through the legs into different positions and just try and get all of those glutes to loosen up and fire as well. If you have any low back pain, definitely give this little routine a try. Should hopefully be about 10-15 minutes total time to get through all of this stuff. Too much of a good thing again can be a bad thing, so less is more, especially when you're starting off. Try it out.